Hey guys, hi, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. And welcome to Vlogmas Day 19. I'm not going to call it Happy Vlogmas Day 19 because this is not a happy day. It has been a long, challenging, difficult day. I injured myself today at work. Nothing serious. It could have been horrifying. It could have been really bad. But it turned out to be just a small injury that I'll recover from. I'll let you know about that in a minute. So a synopsis of the day. So I'm not sure if I've mentioned the crew I'm working with. I'm working with one of my coworkers that I seem to run into all the time. We've worked together probably 2 or 3 times already. We really get along. I think we come from very, very different backgrounds and we have very different philosophies and points of view, but we somehow seem to work together really well. It's fantastic. And our lead, I don't really know her very well. We really haven't had much time to chat, but she's super nice. So let me give you a synopsis of today. I had to write it down because there's no way I'd remember it. So we had a 5:10 show this morning in Oakland. I didn't really get much sleep last night. I probably got to sleep about 10:30 last night, and I woke up about 3:30. And I woke up a number of times in the night. It was not a rest from light sleep, which is pretty common for me. I have yet to learn how to sleep for an early morning show. So I had to write this down. We had a 5:10 show in Oakland, which is great because the hotel is really close to the airport, but we still had to get a 4:40 shuttle to the airport. We flew from Oakland to Las Vegas. We flew from Las Vegas to Detroit. We were supposed to have a 2-hour sit plus boarding time. So it was supposed to be about 3 hours between landing and takeoff the next time. But we had a delay that pushed us into sitting in Detroit more than 4 hours. Longer than that, actually. Closer to 5, I want to say. Yeah, it's just awful. And then we flew from Detroit to Orlando, and it would have been a really long day even if it weren't for the sit and the delay. It would have just been a long day. Thankfully, our guests were absolute angels. This Orlando flight was not unusual in that it had a ton of children, but they were all really well behaved, really charming, no complaints at all with our guests. Wonderful. Once again, our guests are probably the one reason I love my job so much, and the reason that our days are usually so easy is our guests are wonderful for the most part. No complaints at all today. Yeah, I am just drained. And we were supposed to have a 10.5 hour layover, and now I don't even know what it is. It is, what time is it? It's 11:05 p.m. We have a 7 o'clock shuttle tomorrow morning. I'm planning on waking up in about 5:45. Maybe I'll push it to 6 because I want to go downstairs and get breakfast at 6:30 before the shuttle. So I don't really... The only reason I'm filming this video tonight is that I want to be consistent with Vlogmas. Otherwise, there's just no way in God's earth I would have actually picked up the camera. Well, except for that, I love you guys and I want to be consistent with Vlogmas. But to my injury, and a life lesson for me, and for you as new aspiring flight attendants, hopefully. Securing your galley is vital for all sorts of reasons, but all of them really come back to safety. So you learn to double check your securing your galley, and to secure your galley, that just means basically make sure all the carts are have their brakes engaged, all of the little flip locks, the little things are all down and from the top and from the sides sometimes. and that your bins above your galley are all secured and locked. Um, so I do that. And when you're chasing or you're flying next to somebody else, you have a habit of double checking and looking as well, just because teamwork makes the dream work, right? Um, so I secured my galley for landing before getting to Detroit, on the way to Detroit. I secured my galley, made sure everything was locked, and then I realized I hadn't we have these little plastic seals that we use to lock all of our carts before we leave the aircraft. And so I forgot to lock my carts. My coworker's like, "Hey, are you going to lock those?" Which is what I was supposed to do anyway. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, let me do that." And so technically, I could have just waited until we landed. There was plenty of time while we were deplaning for me to lock my carts. But it's a habit of mine usually to do it just after initial because we're not going to do any more service. So I went to, unlocked the Atlas bin, which is it's probably this big, this heavy metal box that has a lock on it. That is secured in the galley by little flip locks. So I unlocked it. I took out my little plastic seals and I closed it, pushed it back in there, and I locked all my carts with my little yellow seals. And I got in my jump seat and getting ready to land. And we're landing, and my coworker, who is sitting next to me, grabs me by the arm and she tries to pull me out of the way. Little foreshadowing. And I sort of resist. I'm like, what? And I move directly in the path of that big metal box that is moving, inertia is starting to slide out, and it flew out of the compartment above my right hand shoulder, and it just glanced off my shoulder, and it landed one corner smack dab on my wrist. Now, my hand. Now, this doesn't look like much because this happened for 3 or 4 hours ago. I don't even know what. I'm so tired. No, actually, this happened 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours ago, and the swelling has gone down because it was really swollen. This was bleeding earlier, and it's tender. It doesn't hurt as much as it did. It's still kind of swollen, but I am so abstractly lucky that bin falling on my hand right across these bones didn't break my hand in multiple places. You have no idea how lucky I am. I think it was just the box glancing off of my shoulder before hitting before hitting my hand that really stopped it from moving as fast as it was and potentially breaking my hand. Yep. So as a flight attendant, we all make little mistakes and we miss something. I don't know one flight attendant, well, maybe I do, who hasn't mistakenly left a cart unsecured and has had it move during takeoff or landing or whatever. I don't know one flight attendant who hasn't made a mistake at some point. But these are the kinds of mistakes you make once in your career. This is the only time this will ever happen because I could have been seriously hurt. I really could have been seriously hurt. Next time you're on an airplane, look in the galley, on an Airbus, I don't know what, and some other aircraft, look at we call them Atlas bins. Look at those bins and imagine one flying out as fast as it would with a plane landing. And imagine how much that hurt landing corner first on the top of my hand. Yeah. I was ashamed. I am ashamed. I'm not sure why I'm even telling you this. I know why I'm telling you this. I was so ashamed of having neglected to reflip and secure that Atlas bin because, I had in my mind, I had secured it. And then when I went in for the second time to get those seals, I didn't double check securing that bin, and I paid for it. And it could have been apocalyptic. It could have been really, really dangerous. So, for some reason, the sound didn't carry too far, mostly because it landed on my hand and not the floor. But, the passengers who were sitting right in front of me were like, whoa, what was that? And I was like, ho, 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 ho. I dropped an earring, ha, ha, ha. And meanwhile, I'm like, oh my God, I hope I didn't break my hand. What I think, honestly, for me is at a certain point in this day, because I did not get a lot of sleep last night, this was just exhausting. The day was long and exhausting, and it's not an excuse. There really aren't any excuses when it comes to safety. Honestly, there aren't any excuses. But I was just tired. I wasn't thinking, and because I had double checked everything and then went back in that second time, I just didn't think about double checking a second time. So for the rest of my life as a flight attendant, I will be triple and quadruple checking everything. So the reason I'm probably even admitting that I made this mistake today is that I don't want you to make this mistake either. Chances are you'll make a mistake of some kind. If you're going to become a flight attendant, I think when we're new, we all make one or two really epically stupid mistakes. But as long as I've been doing this, I figured I would figure out how to secure an Atlas bin. But so today's duty day, with my airline, I think a lot of airlines, we can have a maximum of a 14-hour long duty day. I think a scheduled duty day. With a maximum of 9 hours scheduled blocked. We can go up to 16-hour duty days if it's a weather-related or incident or challenge, whatever. And doing the math today, my duty day today was 14 hours and 1 minute from check-in till wheels down. And it was just a real long day. And because I can't stop talking, right? You know me. Why am I touching my face so much tonight? Oh my God, it's the worst habit. What's the silver lining? What's the good news after all of this? And I'm sorry, I'm just realizing that my camera is like focusing really weird. What's the silver lining, or what's the good news? Is that yes, it was a 14-hour long duty day. It's a long day. 3 legs. 2 of them weren't one was short. 2 of them were fairly long. In my work life, in my career, I have worked really, really long days. When I worked at Neiman Marcus and jewelry during the holiday season, working a 14-hour day was not uncommon. Between coming in early, setting up the jewelry cases, working all day long, we had to do inventory in the morning and then inventory at nighttime, and then taking all of that jewelry out of the cases and putting it all in trays and putting that in the safe. And then I have worked long, long duty days, and I've worked my tail off on those days and gotten almost nothing for it, So today I worked a 14-hour long duty day, but the job, outside of making sure that you're doing your job, the job is ridiculously easy. And I got the chance to meet a lot of really nice people. We met, there must have been 100 children on the course of our day today in these aircrafts, and not one of them was a problem. A blessing right there, right? But somehow, this past almost 2 years now, coming up in March, it'll be 2 years. Coming up on these 2 years, my days have usually been so easy that this one day has just really knocked me for a loop. So there's my little update on Vlogmas. I can't wait to get home tomorrow. We have a 7 o'clock van to the airport. Our show time is at 7:40, and then we're just flying one leg, thank goodness, back to Las Vegas. I'll get into Las Vegas late morning, Pacific Coast time. I'm going to go home, drop my bags, And then I'm going to go for a walk around my complex and hope that I can find Buddy and hope that when he sees me, he wants to go into my apartment with me and cuddle. Um, if for those people who have not watched my videos before, Buddy is a cat. I am delirious. Because, you know, if you didn't know Buddy was a cat, that would have sounded really bad. Um, it Worse has happened. Yeah, so I'm hoping to find Buddy. I hope he wants to come in and hang out for a little while because I would love some Buddy love. Um, and then I'm going to take a nap. I'm off for 2 days, and then I have another back-to-back trip. I have another back-to-back 3-day trip. It's crazy because after this next trip, it'll almost be New Year's. It's crazy. All right. Well, thank you for watching. You know what's so funny about this channel? You know, I always do this. I'm almost finished talking, and then I have a thought that I just keep on talking. It's funny about this channel and Vlogmas. I do want to do an après Vlogmas video about what this experience has been like filming every day and sharing something every day. But when I got in this hotel room and I took most of my clothes off, I won't tell you that I'm in my underwear down here. When I got in this hotel room, I really did not want to pick this camera up. I certainly did not want to adjust my tripod. I just wanted to take these clothes off and go to bed. And I'm not sure if my energy seems much different than it did when I started this video a few minutes ago. But just talking to you guys and relating what my day has been like makes me feel better. Don't know why. A problem shared is a problem halved, right? Is that what they say? I'm going to take some Advil because this really does ache. And then I'm going to take a Benadryl. No, I don't think I'm gonna. Because if I take a Benadryl, I will not sleep soundly. I'll be like, too dreamy. Because I want to wake up tomorrow morning as refreshed as possible and not feel drugged. Which is what I'll feel like tomorrow morning if I take a Benadryl this late in the night. I will talk to you guys tomorrow on Vlogmas Day 20. Hopefully after I've had a nap. And hopefully after Buddy has had some time with me. Until then, I hope you have a great day or night or whatever it is where you are. And thank you for watching. And I'll talk to you later. Fly safe. Bye.